Dalton is able to go out there and put up 35, 45, I don't really care how many pass attempts, because again, he's in the senior of his career now. He's not the long-term savior. Then, hey, we go out there and we win 5. You know what? I hope 6 games. But at the same time,
hey, I thought it was all over.
Nope. They roll coverage.
So I think we're at this point now in the season. Hey, we got to win. This was a close one against the Bengals, at least for most of the game. But we're at a point now where Dalton truly is not the answer. And of course, with the indictment on our former first-round pick in Bryce Young, we're not really sure where to go from here. Now, obviously, we've already heard Adam Schefter talk about Diontae Johnson will most likely not be a Carolina Panther next year due to Tepper's unwillingness to pay somebody.
Adam Thielen, Diontae Johnson's in the last year of his contract. He's going to be leaving Carolina after this year anyway. If they lose a few more games, why would you not be open to the idea of moving him if you got the right offer before the deadline? And I think the same would be true of Adam Thielen, a veteran who you probably would want to do right by. If you're 1-6 at the trade deadline, if you're 2-7, whatever it may be, they push back the trade deadline a week. I think it's November 3rd this year, or whatever that may be.
We also know that Adam Thielen will most likely not be here, as well as Jonathan Mingo if the fan base has its way. But we've got to at least think about this a little bit logically. Chuba's under contract to the end of this year, so he's gone. So we're keeping Miles Sanders and Jonathan Brooks. Jatavian Sanders has shown himself to be a half-decent receiving threat. But to be honest, he's dog water in blocking. And if you're literally going to sit here and try and tell me that, then you know what? There's an email below. Make sure you email me, and you can come on here and try and talk that smack. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep sitting over here talking about my Carolina Panthers and continue to keep batting 1,000. I'm killing it this year, guys. I knew that the defense would take a step back. I called this weeks ago about this injury bug that has continued to plague us. But if you're a diehard Carolina Panthers fan, you can't do anything other than drink company Kool-Aid. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be that guy. I would rather be a hated Carolina Panthers fan and known for speaking the truth than sit here just taking the company man response to everything. I'm sorry. Dave Canales can be the right coach long term. And again, if you followed me right here on Roll Coverage, I picked him in December to be our head coach far before anybody else out there, and I bring receipts. So if you want to sit here and say that our Carolina Panthers need a better run game, that's fine. But our offensive line now has some issues. Both of our newly paid guards are hurt in some way. This is the mulligan year, guys, and I don't really care how you feel about it. We're not the only ones saying it. Other teams are saying it. The Panthers are a nice tee-up game to get ready for the real game the next week. We are able to finally put some points on the board, but to be honest, it is going to be a slog, especially now. Shaq Thompson gone. Josie Jewell has been dealing with stuff. Jadavian, Derek Brown for the whole season. The issues that we have had, to be honest, on the offensive side, like I said, the guards and tackles. We had to bring in Brady Christensen. This early 4 games in, we shouldn't have had to rely on him, but hey, the NFL is not for long for a reason. But I want to really know your thoughts. This next game is going to be an interesting one. We obviously have the Bears game coming up. We've got some interesting ones on the schedule. And the way the Bucs have looked hot and cold, the Saints started hot and now they're starting to cool down. The Atlanta Falcons are just kind of lukewarm at best. This would be an ideal year to really try and make something happen, but we just don't have the dogs. So if that's the case, we've got some contracts we need to handle. The ones that are expiring this year are both. Okay, some of those names you might have heard of. Diontae Johnson, obviously. Contract ends 2024. Austin Corbett. Andy Dalton, the savior. Xavier Woods. Hecker. Brady Christensen, like I mentioned before. Tommy Tremble. Pinero. Fuller. A now hurt Shaq Thompson. And an already hurt Sam Franklin. And now if you're sitting here in front of me trying to tell me that this loss to the Bengals was a moral victory, go suck an egg, my guy.
I said get out!
Get the hell out of here. I don't know where you're coming at with that shit. We are the 32nd ranked team in this league. Daniel Jones, to be honest, can put together a better offense than we can right now. The defense on his side isn't giving up as bad as ours is. That is really the hinge that everything sits with. If Dalton is able to go out there and put up 35, 45, I don't really care how many pass attempts because, again, he's in the senior of his career now. He's not the long-term savior. Then, hey, we go out there and we win 5. You know what? I hope 6 games. But at the same time, what do we do next year? Are we bringing in Carson Beck and hoping that he's able to just do something?
What do you think my emotions are?
Shadur Sanders by chance? I don't know. I don't think that those are really some viable options at all. I would much rather us just trade some stuff now, prepare for the next few years. If we end up with the first pick, that's great. I'd probably trade out of it and get down a little farther. Again, I'm a big believer in Quinn Ewers, and I hope you are too. Even though he's hurt, I think he's going to do great things in the NFL. Now, I want to know your thoughts because I started roll coverage for one reason and one reason only. It is to talk about sports for sports' sake because we don't need a reason to talk about sports. Now, do you see the Panthers winning in this next game? Because I surely don't. But can I absolutely see it happening if the defense actually shows up? Absolutely. I don't think we really need the defense to show up at this point. We just need the other quarterback to just shit the bed, which I am super hoping for that can happen at least a few more times to get my Panthers a few wins. But until then, we are number 32. And hey, that's a part of being a Panthers fan. Luke Combs said it himself, man, this is hell sometimes. But my name is Nick, host of Roll Coverage, home of the press conference breakdown. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day. Make sure you check out our new format videos, shorts, and more. Have a great rest of the day. Peace.